All right, we're live?
Yes.
We're rolling, okay. So now we're gonna talk about the birches. So we just looked at the aspens, now we'll talk about the birches. And again, you're gonna see them everywhere around Waterville. Right behind me is paper birch. And there's a lot of common names for white birch, paper birch, canoe birch. But one thing that will always kind of give it away is, again, that white smooth bark. If you run your hands on it, you get that bloom again. But one thing that you can always tell with a birch, and often with aspens, but the birches have these lenticles, these horizontal lines along the bark. And what that is, that exchanges the gases through the living tissue of the tree. And that will grow with the tree. They'll get bigger, broader as the tree grows, but birches have these nice horizontal lenticles all through it. And then with the paper birch, you have these big rolls of bark coming off of that. Really beautiful pieces. Real important not to pull those off. If the tree is down and dead, that's one thing, but on a living tree, you really should never pull those off. Another thing with the birches is, so this is a prime example of, younger birches. They look very different. This is still a young birch, but one thing you can always look at is the alternating pattern of those buds. And then we also have right here, which maybe we can see close, is a cone. And you can see those nuts coming off of here. And so these mature in the late fall. And then in the wintertime, they're still typically on the tree. And it's a food source for a lot of different animals. So that's another way to help you figure out what type of tree it is. But very distinct looking cone. And then we're gonna turn around over here, head into the woods a little bit for the other common birch.
And get a view of the winter garden while we're at it.
And then here we have our yellow birch. So very similar to the white paper birch, but these rolls of bark tend to be thinner. Horizontal rolls here tend to be thinner, and quite often they have this yellow goldish tint to it. Again, they also have those horizontal lenticles, and these will widen and stretch as the tree grows. Another way to tell the difference between a paper and a yellow birch is, very typically a yellow birch, when you smell the inside of the bark, maybe that's not the best example, or if you were able to reach a twig, and if you were able to chew it or scratch and sniff the inside of the bark, it has a wintergreen flavor to it, or wintergreen smell. So that's another way to tell the difference here. Again, they have pointed buds that alternate. Cool. So hopefully next time you're out, you can take a look at some of the birches and aspens out here, and have a great time doing it.
Thanks, Eric.